Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show. Today we're going to make a coffee cake because I don't know if it's just North Carolina, but it is so freezing cold here. And you just want to eat something warm and comforting, so how about a coffee cake? We're just going to get right into it. What I have here in my bowl already is a mixture of flax seeds and chia seed ground with a half a cup of water. It's 2 tablespoons of flax and chia mix, and it's been sitting here for just a couple minutes until it gets really nice and gelatinous. And then what we're going to put in our blender is 2 cups of almond milk, but you can use any plant milk of your choice, just preferably unsweetened, and 2 cups of dates. And we're just going to blend these until it's smooth. Okay, what we're going to add to our bowl is 1.5 cups of oat flour, and these are just rolled oats that I've ground in my blender. 1.5 cups of almond meal, 1/2 cup of arrowroot powder, or you can also use tapioca starch. It's just about the same thing. And then I have here a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're just going to mix those together lightly to get the baking soda and the baking powder distributed evenly. And then we will add our wet ingredients from the blender. So here's our date and almond milk mixture. Just going to pour it in. And then we're just going to mix. This is almost just like the one my mom used to make. The one my mom used to make is probably a bit sweeter, and it uses butter and sugar. And eating a plant-based diet, we're not using sugar or oil or butter anymore. So this is how we can get around that and still have our comforting food. And it still tastes delicious. You're not going to miss that overly sweet tasting coffee cake anymore. And you definitely aren't going to feel guilty when you eat it. Okay, so you're just going to mix it until everything's incorporated pretty well. And what I have here is just like a brownie dish. You can use a pie plate, or you can use a little cake, like a round cake dish. That's fine too. And I didn't oil my pan. It will stick just a little bit, but it's not that bad. If you want to oil it, that's fine, or line it with parchment paper, that's fine too. So we're just going to pour it right in. And then just smooth it out a little bit. Okay, get all the rest of that goodness in there. Okay. And next is the crumble for the top. You kind of need that little sweet crunchiness on the top that gets really nice and brown. We're going to use our blender again. You can use a smaller blender like a NutriBullet if you have one, or a Magic Bullet. I just have a 1/2 cup of almond meal or almond flour, 1/2 cup of oats, 3 dates, and 1 teaspoon of, or 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And when we get this in the blender, we're just going to pulse it so that it just breaks it up a bit and gets it crumbly. So not to get it super ground into clumps, because then it's just too sticky to spread. Okay, here we have our crumbly mixture, nice and fine. We're just going to kind of pour it in our hand a little bit and crumble it over the coffee cake. This is going to make it look so nice, and it will turn a nice golden brown color while it's baking. And this will give you that little bit of extra sweet on the top. Bit stuck down in there. Okay. And now we're just going to put this in the oven on 350 degrees for about 45 minutes, and then we're going to check it. Sometimes it takes, 10 more minutes. It just depends on your ingredients. So we're just going to check it at 45 minutes and see if it needs more time. Hey guys, here it is. Look at that golden brown coffee cake. So it did need a few more minutes, about 5 more minutes. And it's a little bit brown for me, but you can also put a piece of tin foil over the top if you want to keep baking it for a little bit longer, if you feel like it's still too mushy on the inside, so that you don't burn the top. But I have let this sit for about 10 minutes so that it's easier to get a piece out, and so I don't burn my mouth when I take that first taste. Let's see if I can get it out of here. It's always that first piece that gives you a little bit of problem to get out, but let's try here. Ooh, not too shabby. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nice and gooey, but it's all about the taste. Delicious. And you know what would go really great with this? Is a steaming hot peppermint mocha. So you can check out that show. I'll leave a link below. And I'll see you next time.